Okay, let's build the first app. And the app we're going to build is an habit tracker. So before, I've already created a project called habit tracker, and we're going to be using sqlite.com to sketch out how our app is going to look like. Now, because I want to track time and I want to build this in an hour or less, we're going to use this Pomodoro to track how much time we spend. So I'm using pomofocus.io, and yeah, we have just 25 minutes. After that, we talk about the 25 minutes. So we need 2 25 minutes and 1 10 minutes to be an hour, right? So, okay, so let's kickstart. Boom. Yeah, let's allow. Okay. So let's sketch out what an habit tracker is. So basically you have this sort of habits every day that you want to track every day. Like you want to track, I want to go to the gym every day by 6 o'clock. So we want to track that. And when you complete an habit, it's sort of show you like a streak also. So let's say this is the home page of your app. I'm thinking we have a list of habits that you will see daily, right? And I'm thinking we have like a calendar here, and the calendar will be separated by the dates. We have dates here. So you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. And maybe we're gonna have a big stuff here that says like the daily summary. So every day you wanna see the summary if you are hitting your goals or not. So yeah, daily summary. And then we're going to have the date here, maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever. And this would be a list of our habits. And maybe somewhere there we will have, in case you want to create like a new habit also, you will be able to create a new habit, and this will link you to another screen that we have here. And yeah, creating a new habit goes here. We can sketch out how the new habit is going to look like, but I think it's going to be basic stuff. Okay. So let's sort of build the UI. And before we build the UI, I have a tool that I use to make life easy for me. So we're going to use Flex Color Scheme, which is the package that I use to just build. So we're going to or we just use the command. So let's go back to our code on the terminal. I hit that, and then it installs in my prospect.yaml. Boom, here. And when I save that, it's run pub.get for me. So let's go back to the main, and I like to get rid of the home page here, and I like to create my own folder. And in the folder, it's easy. I'm just going to create a new folder called UI. Inside of it, I'm going to create something called the main _ page.dart, and then we have like a stateless widget here. And we'll call it main page, right? Okay, so we go here, let's delete all this stuff, and then we just link up the main page here. Good. Now let's use color scheme. So with the theme mode, we just default it to dark, and that means that we have to drive the dark theme. So for the theming, I'm going to use flex theme data dot dark, and we can give it a scheme. And there are some default color scheme that we can use. In my case, I'm going to use the mallard green or whatever. You can use anything. And when we save that, so let's go back to the home page. Let's say we return a scaffold. And you see the background is dark. And yeah, we can start building our main page. So here, let's get rid of the const. We can have in the app bar a habit tracker. And in the body, we're going to have a widget. I'm going to use a widget called safe area here. And we're going to have a padding. All the padding is going to be like 16. Let's see what it gives us. Yeah, we have hello world. But here we have a column and the cross-axis alignment will be start. Okay. Now let's start to decompose our UI. So here we have, let's build this guy. That's like a calendar view. So we can call it timeline. Timeline view. Yeah, in the timeline view, we have something called selected dates. That's a date, selected dates. And we will have something called on date, on selected date change or on date change, whatever. Now let's build the timeline view. And here in the UI, I'm just going to have the components. And the components will, inside the component, I'm going to create a new file called timeline view.dots. And we give this timeline view. So it already tells us that here, do you want to have this? So here we have date time as a selected date, and we have a void function that really just return a callback function. And so here we have color scheme because we're going to theme all the app with our color scheme. So there's a package that I'm going to use to do the date selection, and I call it easy date timeline. Here, this guy. Yeah, so it has this nice stuff that I really like. So let's install that. And we paste that, boom, and it installs. And it does pub get for us. And so we can start creating a timeline view. And I'll have a container. In the container, we're going to have the padding to pad just the vertical. So we're going to use symmetric, and we want the vertical to be 16. Vertical is top down. So the child of this container will use the easy date timeline, and we're going to import it here. Okay, so what does easy date want from us? Let's see. Easy date timeline. Why can't I see this guy? So let me run this again. Sometimes it does that. So easy. Okay, this is it. We finally found it. So initial date will be the selected date, and on date change, we'll map it to the selected date, right? Let's just save this and let's see. So let's import the timeline view here on our home page. And so I like to use something called hook widget, and it's from Riverpod. I use Riverpod for the state management. So let's just go ahead and install Riverpod and everything we are going to use. So we are going to be using hooks Riverpod and the Flutter hooks package. So let's just copy all this stuff and just dump it here. So it's going to install all this dependency and the likes. Okay. So good. So we need to convert this to a hook consumer widget. And this guy is from hooks Riverpod. And in the build method, we need to pass in the widget ref. So now we will need to tell the selected date. You need to put it like in a same way you do your stateful widget where you do your set state. Instead, we will use something called the function called useState. It's from Flutter hooks here. So yeah, the selected date will now be selected date dot value. Let's get rid of this const here because it can't be const anymore. Okay. So here we just, when they change the date, we just update the selected date, the value to the date here. So yeah, we have a simple timeline. Nice. Look at it. Looking good. Now let's do a bit of more configuration to make it a bit nicer. What else can we do here? Let's think. Okay, so there's a method called the header props here. That's a property called header props. Yeah, we can style the header and we can say the month picker type. We want it to be like a drop down. Okay, good. Oh, we need a comma there. We can say show header false. Show selected dates true. Do we really need the month picker type? I don't know. So yeah, we got rid of the header here. We just want the date. All right. And now let's customize a bit. There's something called the days prop. And we can pass it an easy day props. And we can say day structure to be day structure dot day number day string. Good. And the active day style, we can pass a day style to it. Okay. For the day style, we have a decoration and a box decoration. Here we have, we give it a border radius here. Now let's not give it a color. Instead, I love gradients, so we will give it a linear gradient. And the colors will be primary and secondary. And the alignment begin will be top center and bottom center. Let's look at how it looks like. Oh, it's looking nice. Oof. Nice. Awesome. And let's update a bit. We can say the date string in the active day style. We can say the day string style. That's the string on the calendar. Let's give it a font size of 16, and the font weight will be bold. Okay, so you see it's bold now. And we can also do the same to the number. Day number style, the same thing. Yeah, it's bold. Okay, now this is for the active day. What about the inactive day? You can see it's looking off. So let's do inactive day style. Inactive day style. So we have a day style as well, and here we have a decoration as well. We can give it a box decoration. We give it the same circular to be 12. The color, we can use the surface, and then let's give it like a border. Border.all. We will use the outline variant. The width is 1. Yeah, it's redundant there. Now let's customize the string. Day string style. Yeah, so we use on surface, and the day number style will be the same. Good. You see it looking good now. So when you click on it, it becomes bolder and highlights the day exactly. So let's do the today highlight style, and we will say today highlight style dot with background. I think there's a constructor there. And today highlight color, we just do color scheme dot primary container, and then we have the opacity to be maybe 0.3. Yep. Okay. So let's have something called timeline props, and the easy timeline props, we have the separator padding to be 16. Good. And I think we are good. Yeah. So we have all this stuff. Let's reload. And we have this. This is today's Thursday. I don't know. The Thursday is not showing. Today highlights with background. Let's see. Okay, it's a bit better. Let's see. And have with border. There's a bit of border there. Okay, so we can always touch on this UI. Our time is, we have 6 minutes left, and we've only done this part. Now let's do the daily summary. So to do the daily summary, we just create a daily summary card here, and we call it daily summary card dot. Oh, I didn't have the dot there. So let's have a stateless widget here, and we call it the daily summary card. And let's have a bit of some. So we have completed task, total task, and then we have a date, the date for the summary. Now, as we know, we just have all the constructor there. Now we can have the color scheme as theme.context.color scheme. So yeah, we will return a card from material here, and the elevation will be 8, and we have a bit of a shadow color, the shadow, but with opacity we give it 0.2, and the shape we can have continuous rectangle border, and we will give it 24. And then in the child we have like a container, and when we want to decorate the container, we have a box decoration to be circular. We give it a gradient. You know, I love gradient. The gradient will be primary, secondary, top left, bottom right. And here we can have a padding, and the padding will be 20. Now we can start adding things inside the container, and it will be start. Yeah, so here we will have daily summary. Let's give it a style, and we can say theme dot of. You know, we have to use the text theme instead of surface. So text theme dot, we're going to use the title large, and we are going to modify it a bit. So we use the copy width method, and we use on primary container, and the font weight is going to be bold. So the daily summary. Okay, here let's put it in the main page. So let's just have a quick something there. So how does it look? We have the daily summary card here. Oh, and we can always modify, but we are not done yet. Let's continue, and we will have a container, and the padding is going to be edge insect dot symmetric. Horizontal is going to be 12, and vertical will be 6. And after the pattern, we're going to have a decoration, and we have a box decoration, and we have a color scheme. Here we're going to have a primary. We give it an opacity of 0.1, and the border radius will be 20. And in the child, we're going to have texts, date, and the style. We give it, style, we give it a text style. And the color is going to be color scheme dot primary container. And the font weight, we just give it a font weight of 500 here. No, that's 400. Okay. Now, that's for the date. Let's see how it looks like. We have a date, nice date there. And after the date, actually, let's have here, let's wrap it in. Can you wrap it in a row? Yes. So we have this container after the text. Okay. So in the row, we're going to have space between there. Okay, good. That's what I want. So after the row, we will have a size box of 24. Okay, our Pomodoro has shouted. It's saying time for a break. So I don't think I want a break. So let's go. We have another 25. What can we do? Damn. Okay, so let's quickly have a stack here. And in the children, we have a clip rect. And the border radius will be 12. And the child will be like a linear progressing indicator. So the value will be completed tasks divided by the total tasks to give us the progress. And the minimum height will be 8. So we are using this linear progress indicator to show the progress for that day. You know what? In the color, you're just gonna have a background color, and we'll use the color scheme surface, and we give it 0.2. And then we can have value color, always stop the animation, color scheme primary. There. Awesome. Let's see how it looks. Okay. So we have that little progress there. And we can have it's suggesting other stuff for us. So we can have, oh, it wanted us to put, but that is not needed. So after that stack, we can have a height. And then we can have a row. In the row, let's see what it's going to give to us. Yeah, it looks a bit better. Yeah, so let's just leave it like that. Really. So we have the daily summary here, and we have the date, we have the progress bar. We can say how many tasks is completed, how many is not, which looks fairly okay to me. If we switch out the theme to maybe Barossa, you can see the theme. This looks off. So in the check mark, let's now give it like a color. Let's see what it does. Yeah, it's better than now. And yeah, we have something better a bit. We can always improve on this stuff. Now the next one is There's something off about this place. We can fix it. So now the last one is we're going to have a list of habits that you have for that day. So when you click on the date, you're going to see your habits. And here I'm going to have, so we have 24 or 16 habits. We have a widget called habit card list. In the habit card list, we'll be passing like the date. Now let's go ahead and create the habit card list. Habit card list. Dot. Did I create? Oh my God, a folder. Let's get rid of the folder. We are creating a new file instead. Okay, so habit card list. Let's create like a stateless widget. And we'll say habit card list. And it's going to require like a selected date. So we're going to return expanded. And we're going to have a list builder. Let's have the item count to be 10. And then in the habits, we're going to now create like a habit card. We need a card. So habit card dot. So here let's just let's convert it to a block. So we need to return a habit card there. So for the habit card, we're going to have a title. We're going to have like a streak. So streak is how often you have completed that habit. We're going to have progress. We're going to have, we might not need the progress, but we're going to have the habits ID. We're going to have is completed. We just have some default stuff there. And then we're going to have the date. So that's our habit card. Let's actually create the habit card. So because I'm using cursor, it automatically just knows the context and autofills all those stuff. So like we do, we need our color scheme. And we're going to have like a container. We have a decoration. We have a box decoration. So border radius, we're going to have like a 16. We're going to have a border to be outline variant. And like we always do, we have the gradient. So we have the linear gradient. And begin top left. And is bottom right. So in the colors, we're going to put some if statement here. Is completed. We have the color scheme dot primary container, and we're going to give it some opacity with opacity 0.8. And if it's not completed, we're going to have with opacity 0.1. So we will do the same here, but here we will have 0.05. And here we have 0.6. Okay. Let's get rid of this const. Let's import our habit card. Good. And let's import this one as well. Let's see what it does here. Okay. Let's go back to the habit card. We can have some shadow. Good. And in the child, I think we focus too much on decorating this stuff. You can have a card. Elevation is gonna be 0. Color transparent. Oh no. The shape, we have a rounded rectangle border. It's going to be circular 16. And we have the child. So we have a padding. Let's have 16 as the padding. I think we have a row here. Yeah, in the row we have an expanded and we have a column. Okay, so in the children of the column, we can have a text with the title. Do we have a title? Yeah. How come I don't have access to the title? Okay. And we can have if streak is greater than 0, then we have like a list, and the row we have like an icon, but the icon will be like fire, local department fire, local fire department, and the color will be color scheme dot primary. How come? Oh, okay, yeah. And then we have the size to be 20. Make it a bit bigger. And we have the width to be 4. Yeah, and we have something like this. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so this is what we have, and let's have it separated a bit. So each, okay. So the completed one will be this color, the other completed one. Let's change the theme a bit. I'm not a fan of that thing. So let's use blue. Okay, it looks better. Awesome. So we finished building the UI. We can take a pause. Damn. So let's take a pause, and we then have like 20 minutes. Can we use 20 minutes to build out the app? I don't know, but we'll see what we can achieve within this time. So we have 20 minutes more to go. Now that we have the UI done, so let's go ahead with the implementation. Let's have this running. Okay, so what we want to use is SQLite, or a database on that will persist our habits on the phone. But we are going to use Drift, which is really nice. It's built on top of SQLite. And I think they have the docs somewhere around here. Okay, so we want to install these dependencies for Drift, and then we go ahead and implement Drift. So let's Ctrl-T there, and just copy and paste, and it's going to install everything we need. Now we've got Drift working now. And let's go in the live folder, and we create a new folder called data. And in there, we will create a new folder called database. This is where all our Drift database go. And we'll create a database, call it database.dart. So let's implement this database. We have something called Drift database. And let's import Drift. So we have two tables called habits and habit completions, not streaks. So when we create an habit, it goes to the habits table. When we complete an habit, it goes to the completions table. And we have an app database that extends, because we're going to be using auto generation. That's why we added build runner. So we need to extend this like this. So here we have the constructor app database. And in the super, we will call open connection. Also, we need to override the schema, and we give it the first schema. So when we call the Drift database, it's supposed to open connection. So let's implement the open connection. It will be like a lazy database, and we do open connection, and it's going to return lazy database for us. And where should the DB database go? We do get application that document directory. We will fetch that from I think path provider or so. Okay, so yeah, we'll create a new file, and we import that.io, and we this will be from our path.join, and we want the DB to be habits.db, and then we will return a native database, and we will use the constructor create in background. So we're now passing the file to it. So it's going to create this native database in the background. Now let's solve all these quiggles that we have here. And if we import path as P and then import path provider, but it's saying that it's not a dependency, it's in another file. So we just simply add path to dependency. So it goes to our prospect.yaml. We'll do the same thing for this one. So you see that it's done. Okay. So now let's start adding some methods to our database. And for example, we want to have a list of habits. And we can return a feature that selects habits from the table. So we do select habits.get. Okay, before I continue, we can run our code generation. But before that, we need to put the path database.g.dot there. So it's in all the docs here. So you can go ahead and follow these docs. So let's in the docs, when you do this, what else is it showing to us? Let's see. So we created the drift database. Do we need to create like a table? Yeah, we do need to. So to create that, let's in the database here, we create a new file called tables.dot. And we have class habits is going to extend table. So we will import drift instead. So we will import drift. So table is part of drift. So now we will create columns and the table ID, it will auto increment. And the title, we can have text column, description. We can have date time column. It will be created at, the default is the current time and date. We can have an int column, and this is where we store our string. So we use the with default method, and we can have int column as well that will get us total completions. And also we can have another table that says bool column. And we can say if it's daily or not. So yeah, this will be if it's daily or not. Also, we can have a text column after the date, and we will call it reminder time. So let's say you wanted a reminder every day about your habits, we can have that. Now we can create a habit completions table. So habit ID completed that. And yeah, that would be simple stuff. So we can import our tables. So now our table is here. And what else? So then we generate all the required code that we need. So let's run that run, build runner build. So it's running. Okay, cool. So I think we need to move this just outside. Good. So now you see we have everything ready. So also we can watch. You can have a stream from the table that watches your habit, so you don't have to refresh. So it will auto refresh. What else can we can do? Create habit. So feature int, so return. So we call it create habit. So we will need a habit companion and into habit, insert habits. Now you can have updates if you want, but we can have that later. So another one that we want to have, another method is complete habit. So we're passing the habit ID. You might want to complete an habit from yesterday. So how do we complete the habit? So let's see. This time I'm going to use transaction. So we have a transaction, and then let's see. Okay, so inside the async, we have start of day. And then we have end of day. So instead of doing it like this, I'm just going to do daytime, selected day, and we have 23, 59, 99. So it forms the last second of the day, of that day. Good. Now we can check if the habit is already completed. So final, existing completion. So we're going to say if it's equals to the habit ID. I think we need a variable here. No. Variable start of day and the same. We need an expression. Okay. So we're going to do .get. So if the completion is empty, instead of returning, We are going to insert into the habit, and then we will get the habit again. And then we just update. So update, replace, we update the streak, and we update the total completion to companion. Yeah, we just put to companion true. Okay. So yeah, this is where most of the logic is. Anyways, so we've done complete habit. Now there's another one method that I need us to add. We need a stream of, it will return to, I will return a record here. So int. So I want to watch the daily summary. So we will use this for our daily summary. So here we will need a date, start of day, end of day, like we had, and we have completion stream. So we first get the stream completion. So it's between, so we watch, I think we need another. It's between. Oh God. So we have completed ads is between variable. Yeah, there's a lot of oh, what did I do? It's a nice challenge. So we want to build this in 1 hour, but I think we can. You know what? So I can use this guy, okay, to fix, yeah. So we need to combine the stream, the habit stream. And so before that, we need to create the habit stream. So we watch. I think I need a method that will watch a habit for a particular day. Might need that. So we need a list of habits with completions. So watch habit for date. So we pass in date time. We will still create the method for habit with completion. So literally what we are doing is is we want to have a class that will hold a habit with its completion. So habit with completion. So we need a habit, and we need if it's completed or not. We'll make it required. Okay, so here, so I need habit with completion. So, and I can create a query that will select the habit. It will join it with the habit completion, and then with the habit ID. And completed at is between this time. Okay. So now that I have the query, I can say rows equals to await query.get. So we can have this to be async for now. And then we can return the row, and we can map it with, we can create habit equals to row.readable habits, final completion, row.readtable or null habit completion. And yeah, we will return like a list here. Unfortunately, this one will not be a stream. It'll just be a normal feature. Okay, so that means we come back here to our habit stream. Actually, instead of feature, we can still have that stream. Where is it? Okay, redo. So we can still have the stream. You just need to take away this async, and we remove this query. We just say watch. So query.watch. So instead of here, we do is between values. Let's get rid of this variable. Okay, awesome. So we have the habit stream here. So watch daily summary. Now here we just watch habits for dates. We pass in the date. So we have the habit stream. Now we need to combine this stream and this stream together to return this int and int. We will use something called rx.dart. So to combine the stream. So we have rx that, oh, our time is gone. Oh my God. But we need to finish the tutorial anyway. So we'll see. Okay. We are almost there though. So we return rx.combine latest 2. So we combined the completion stream. So let's import and erase that. Combine the completion stream and the habit stream, and it gives us 2 ints, the completion length and the habit length. Okay, so we have most of what we need. So in the data folder, we can create a new folder called providers. So for example, if you want to do the daily summary provider, we can simply just say final daily summary provider. We will have a, yeah, I got it. So instead of returning, we have a datetime. Instead of returning daily summary, we just have the completed task. And the total task. So, and then we ref watch database provider, and we watch the daily summary, but we didn't create a database provider. So here we just go ahead and say database provider dot, and we simply do final database. It should return, so let's import provider. It should return an app database for us from the database class. And here I want to return unimplemented error here. So what I want to do is I want to go back to the main dot and wrap this main app in provider scope. And we can have widgets Flutter binding initialized. And in this run app, since we have provider scope, so I can do final database equals to app database. So here, I'm just simply going to, in the overrides, I'll just do database provider override with value and then pass in the database. Let's remove this cross. Simple. Okay. So here we will now import a database provider. So in the summary, let's go back to our main page. Now in the daily card summary, you can simply say ref.watch and just import the daily summary here. So, and in the when method, we can do $1 and $2. $1 represents, so it's saying no provider scope. We need to stop the app because, yeah, it has to install the database and stuff, and then we run it. But this is how we use the, let's return the time box. So we just watch the daily summary provider and it will give us the daily summaries. Now we can also have the habits for a particular date. So let's create a provider, and we call habits for date provider. And this will be a simple provider to be a stream, and it will be a list of habits with their completion. So you know what? I'm going to remove cut as exception. Let's see the exception. That will be fine. So we import the habits with completion class that we have, and it returns a stream here. And we can go back to our main page, and in the habits card list, we can convert this to a hook consumer widget, or a consumer widget, anyone you want. We import hook Riverpod, and we do habits async, and we watch habits for dates provider. We import that, and we return habits.when, and so we get the habits with completion, and here we give it a title. In the streak, do we have a streak? Let's see what we have. Dot habits dot streak. So in the progress, we have is completed 1, if not 0. Yeah, I think we have everything we need. Okay, let's look at our app. Unsupported operation. Ooh, we have this big stuff. Let's see what the problem is. Infinity, or where is that? So in the main page, let's debug what is returning. So we have 0, 0 here. So it's returning 0, 0. So we go in here. Okay, so I think what we can do is we can do progress equals to, if the total task is greater than 0, then we do completed divided by task, else we just do 0.0. So then we'll replace this progress with the value here. I think that's why it's shouting there. Okay, it looks better. Now the date is screaming. So how do we fix the date? I think we can really just habit card. Yeah, the dates. Here's the date. What's the date coming back? Is that a string? No. Oh, the date coming back as a string. Oh, we are passing a ISO string there. But what I can do is you can use a date format. And we can have YYY, MM, and then we format it. But we need to import in international. That's what I call it. Oh, this one. So we import intly. So it will format our date properly then. So we have the date formatted. Cool. Right, and now we have the date summary and we select the date. You can see the date changes. But for our habits, we are loading habits too, but we don't have an habit. So how do we fix that? Unfortunately, we also have to create a habit. So let's create a floating action button. And we give it a container and the decoration. We say border radius 16. We say gradient, linear gradient, top left, bottom right, color. So let's create a color scheme. Good. We can have some shadow, box shadow, whatever. And we can have a child. And the child will be a material. And it will be transparent. And the child of the material will be an inkwell. And here we have a create habit page. The child will be a container. And it's going to have a padding of symmetric. Vertical is going to be 12. So yeah, we just have it create habits. Then we create, like in the UI, we create a new folder called pages, and we have create habits page dot. So in there, we have a hook consumer widget, and we have the widget ref, and we have our color scheme. Now in the form, we have a title controller. We will use the hooks from Flutter hooks. We have description controller. We will know if it's daily, and we say use dates. We know if we need to remind the user, and then the reminder time. By default, we will say time of day at 10 o'clock. And now we can return a scaffold. And we have a app bar that says create habit. In the body, we have a single child scroll view with a padding of 2016, whatever. Cross-axis alignment will be start. And we have simple habit title. It will be a text form field. Right. We have the description. After the description, we have like a goal. The goal will be a text, so let's get rid of this row. So in the goal, we can have a row. If it's daily or weekly, and then we can have like a reminder. Let's use a switch list style as reminder or change. Let's use if value. Yeah, let's use a time picker. And the subtitle, yeah, and I think we'll be fine mostly. Let's see how it looks like. So we can create a bit for the title, goal daily, as reminder. Okay, time of day. Oh, so we need a button that will create the habit for us. So create habit page, back to you, and elevated button. You can wrap it in a sized box. So the width is infinity. Unpressed, we have unpressed we have the method. We'll put in the method now. And we can give it a style. Yeah, I think that's all we need. And in the unpressed, we can add a feature void so we just create all this stuff. If the title is empty, we return. And then we do final habit. We need a habit companion. We'll use the insert method and we will insert all this stuff. The description, we need a value. Yeah, we create a, in the database, I think we just use the database provider straight. And we just create a habit. Insert, whatever is daily, description. In the reminder time, let's give it a value. Reminder time. Let's get rid here. Reminder time dot value dot format. And we just put the context there. Is daily. Okay. Created at. We created it at this time. Okay. Yeah, I think, and if context unmounted, we just pop off the screen. Is there anything missing here? Okay, so why is this complaining? Column is defined in drift and basic. In this drift, let's just hide column. Okay, so let's try to create a habit. Run to the gym. Run into the gym. Daily reminder, create habit. Okay, so we have the habit here. And you can see it goes to every day. So the next part is to actually complete habits. So how do you complete a habit? We have not defined that yet. So on the habit card, after the expanded here, we can have a with And we can have like a container, and we have a decoration. Yeah, the UI takes a bit of time, but we can do border radius 16. So gradient is completed. We have linear gradient, else it is null. And we have a color as well. Surface container highest. And then we can have a child of material, and the child will be like an inkwell. So here we just have a method on complete. The border radius will be circular, and here we have a padding. So the icon will be is completed. Icon check circle. Then else circle outline. Then the color will be is completed on primary, and the color scheme will be on surface variant. And we can give the size of the icon 24. Fine. So let's do the incomplete. So when you click on the complete, we can do feature void on complete. It's going to be async. And we can say await database provider. So here, let's convert to hook consumer widget, and we pass it a widget ref. So we pass in an habit ID and the date. But the habit ID is a string, is an int. So let's fix that. And we can say if context.mounted, you can have a scaffold messenger that says great job, habit completed, or whatever. You can give it a behavior to be floating. Okay, so let's go back here. Instead of changing it to string, we are good. Awesome. So run to the gym. Oh, cool. So you can see that the streak changes. And if you go to other days, it doesn't. So let's create more habits. Drink coffee. Create habits. Write an article. Create habits. You can see this increases 1 of 3, and the progress bar is working. Go to other days, it doesn't work. And and then we can complete and see everything updates as it is. So yeah, that is the end of this. See you in the next one.